Look, everyone's talking about diversity numbers like they're the whole story. As if just hitting quotas or checking off boxes somehow means real progress. But here's the brutal truth nobody is saying out loud. Diversity metrics can be the biggest distraction your company faces. You're chasing cold stats, ticking off categories, while the real work, building true inclusion, is slipping through your fingers. That's painful because you know diversity is more than numbers. You feel it when the culture isn't safe, when people don't actually speak up, when leadership is all talk and no action. It's maddening to see those reports filled with colorful charts that mask the silence behind closed doors, the resentment bubbling under the surface. You might be angry because you've spent time, money, effort on these stats, and yet the same old problems persist. People still don't feel like they belong. They still leave quietly, their potential wasted. That's not failure in counting, that's failure in connection. And guess what? It's your failure if you buy into the idea that those numbers are the finish line. Real inclusion is not about who's in the room. It's about what happens once they're sitting there. If you're only measuring diversity, you're papering over a cancerous problem with shallow solutions. So, what do? Stop obsessing over the numbers. Stop pretending that hitting diversity targets means the work is done. Instead, start obsessing over micro moments. Catch where people hesitate to speak, where they self-censor because they think their voice won't change anything. Ask yourself, does your leadership team actually create space for uncomfortable conversations? Or do they just nod along and move on? If you can't face that uncomfortable truth, you're sabotaging the future of your company. Here's the real kicker. You need to hold accountability beyond hiring. Don't just set diversity goals. Set inclusion goals. Tangible, brutal, no BS goals. Like how many dissenting voices are raised in meetings and truly heard. Like how often people from underrepresented groups lead projects, get decisive feedback, or are promoted. Set performance reviews to include those metrics. Require your leaders to prove they can build cultures where difference isn't just tolerated, but actively leveraged. If their team looks diverse but feels like a cage, it's time to fire them or retrain them fast. You have the power to change this right now. Start by making listening a hard requirement. Implement anonymous feedback loops that dig below the surface. Real issues, not the PR gloss. Protect whistleblowers aggressively. And go beyond the team level. Inclusion must be baked into your processes, decision-making, mentoring, pay, promotions. If you don't demand inclusion checkpoints in every system, you're fooling yourself. And listen, stop expecting people from marginalized groups to solve this alone. Inclusion is everyone's job, especially those who came in with power. Build diverse leadership, sure, but also build leaders who are ready to change the system, not just nod at it. Train your leaders to be uncomfortable with comfort, to face bias not as a checklist, but as a daily fight. Without that, metrics are just pretty lies. This isn't about being nice, it's raw business reality. Inclusive cultures perform better, innovate faster, and attract top talent who refuse to settle for facades. If you want to compete in today's world, ignoring real inclusion is a risk you can't afford. The metrics aren't your enemy. They're just the starting point. Don't stop there. You want real change? Tear up your diversity report and start building a culture where difference drives decisions and where people know they matter beyond a spreadsheet. That's how you turn frustration into growth. That's how you move from illusion to impact. Don't settle for the easy story. Demand the hard truth. Take ownership. Push every leader in your company to do the same. Inclusion doesn't happen on its own. You make it happen, or you watch everything else fall apart. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and open the featured link to discover more.